As you well know, George Zimmerman was found not guilty for the murder of Trayvon Martin. The prosecution was unable to show without a reasonable doubt that George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin and it was not self-defense. I agree with the verdict due to the fact that the prosecution provided a weak case against George Zimmerman. Weak. The state attorney, I believe, overcharged Zimmerman with second degree murder with the evidence that they had. However, second degree murder was and should have been the charge. Now, you may say that's a contradiction, but it's not. Because the prosecution did not do everything they possibly could to understand the Trayvon Martin's case. And there's a missing link to the whole fact that inner city communications, inner city lingo, teenagers and how they communicate, there was no way that a 99% all-white jury, 100% all-white prosecution, and 100% all-white defense would have been able to understand what an inner city teenager was talking about. They couldn't get it with the young lady that was on the phone with Trayvon Martin that night, and they couldn't get it with Trayvon Martin himself. Trayvon Martin's last words on this earth was to George Zimmerman, "You got me, man. You got me." Now that may not mean anything to an all-white jury, or evidently to the prosecution. His last words didn't mean anything. Well, his last words meant everything. He was saying to George Zimmerman, "I surrender, man. I give up. Uncle." Are these the terms that you can understand? I surrender. I give up. Uncle. But he said, "You got me, man. You got it. You got it. You got me, man." We all missed that. The prosecution missed that. Al Sharpton missed that. Jesse Jackson missed that. Pierce missed it. Anderson Cooper missed it. You all missed it. This kid was surrendering when he got murdered. You got me, man. Now, I've seen police footage with police officers training with a bulletproof Teflon jacket get shot in the chest and they fall to the ground because the impact is so devastating. And when they open up the Teflon jacket, the bullet is in in the jacket. However, there's a black and blue mark on the chest of the individual that got shot. That's how hard the impact is. And you're trying to tell me that a 17-year-old teenager that gets shot in the chest with a hollow point bullet in the heart, after that, he says, "You got it, man. You got me." Okay? With a bullet in his chest, in his heart. That's an impossibility. It doesn't make any sense. But you guys, all of you, allow it to slide. You missed it. That's second degree murder. Could be first, because the guy was surrendering. Okay? That means there was no threat. The so I'm saying what we need to be doing is having some type of community uh, specialist that comes into the court uh, to help interpret what these kids are saying. A specialist like Zimmerman had. to explain in a fighting situation what's going on. George Zimmerman said Trayvon Martin was reaching for the gun because the gun was already out before he got hit, before he hit his head on the cement. They were struggling for the gun. And when George Zimmerman regained control of the gun and Trayvon Martin saw that, he surrendered. He said, "You got me, man. You got it. You got it, man. I surrender." And then he was shot. You guys missed that. So what I'm asking for, when you have an all-white or 90% white jury, a 90% white prosecution or defense in that case, that we need a specialist for inner city youth to interpret to people that don't get it, don't understand it, outside the box, Al, outside the box, Pierce, you're outside the box, Anderson. You just don't know what's going on in the inner city anymore because you're outside the box. And these kids are communicating, are thrown in jail because we're not understanding what they're saying and or care to. So if you was a Spanish person, they would have a Spanish interpreter. That girl was from Haiti. I couldn't understand words she was saying. You needed an interpreter to be able to explain that when she said, "Have you ever seen 48 Hours or the next 48?" She meant to say, "Boy, that's a television show." They didn't get it. They couldn't understand it. They seemed to not believe it. Only thing George Zimmerman had to do when Trayvon asked him, "Why are you following me, man?" was, "I'm the neighborhood watch, guy. Are you lost?" Trayvon would have been relieved that he was the neighborhood watch. He would have said, "Oh my God, thank God, I thought you was a pervert. I thought you was a creepy ass cracker. Oh, I can go home now." The prosecution never gave a presentation like that. Like the kid was human. The neighborhood watch. Thank God you're here. Trayvon would have been off relieved. But that wasn't on George Zimmerman's mind. Think about it.